And happy Tutorial Tuesday. We are back. I know I missed last week because we were on vacation, and so I didn't have the ability to travel and do a tutorial. And so we're back with a double feature. I do have a sidekick over here off camera. Oh, we see a hand. That's all. He doesn't want to be on camera, but he wanted to craft it. So we are going to be playing with two brand new pop and swap frames today. Y'all have been loving the coffee cups. We had to add the little coffee cups to the site. The members are doing a coffee cup project this month. Do you want to hand me the projects that are in that box right there? For the June Crafting and Christ experience, we have a couple of projects that we're doing together. I'll show you those really quick so you know what I'm talking about. This is the main project that we're doing together. So these sweet little coffee cups here are part of the kit. However, we have so many members that wanted them separate. We've added them to the store as a 3-pack. So you can grab the little coffee cups. And then this is the bonus craft night project that we are doing together. So members were grabbing this as well to do for bonus craft night. We have 2 other experiences that we are doing for this month as well. We have the craft and chat, which is tonight. So tonight I'm going to be joined with Rosalinda, and we're just going to be crafting, catching up. I mean, all of us have projects, right, that we have been meaning to do. So this is an opportunity to grab something that you've been wanting to finish or that you've been wanting to work on and get with us together tonight. We're going to be hearing from Rosalinda and her God story. And I actually, for that, have some clay. I have bought clay. I purchased it like a month ago and I've not done anything with it. So I'm going to be playing with clay molds tonight. I've got a couple ideas for those. And then we also have our pajama prayer candle party, which is going to be next Thursday. Those are all happening inside the experience. You can grab a ticket now if you don't have one. If you're not already a member, you can join us for as low as $9.97. Totally recommend it. We've got at least 4 live events, plus all the fun stuff, plus the membership discounts and all of that stuff. But that's where the coffee cups came from. So I have been wanting to have a coffee cup pop and swap. And so we have 2. Now here's the thing. This one I set up on the website last night, all ready to go, was pretty perfect, ready to go for tonight. Then this morning, my husband was working on a second version. And I'm telling you, this is so hot off the laser, it's literally still warm. I was frantically trying to get it added with pictures to the site before I pushed the live button. That's why I'm 2 minutes late. I was not able to do that. It is on the site. There's no picture. Okay. So you can buy them as a set. Same thing as we did the watering can and the jar. You can get them as a set. That's the best deal. Or you can pick one or the other and get them separate. But this one does not have a picture, but this is what it looks like. So we're going to be playing with these today. And you can take, I think you can take all of this. I might keep these transfers just in case I need extra transfers. I'm going to keep another set of transfers, but you can take the book and put it over there. Now he has an idea of what he's doing. I'm not actually sure. He said detailed painting, and then he asked how much time we had. So he's probably going to be getting pretty detailed. We shall see. Hey, Miss Sandy. So for mine, I actually had a couple ideas, so it might be good that I have 2, but we're just going to take these one at a time. And well, I'll probably be painting them both at the same time, just so we can get everything to dry together. But the pop and swap frames, the way that they come is each frame has multiple pieces. So this is your base piece. Then you've got usually what we call our topper or a frame piece. And then you've got a secondary topper to layer on top of it. Now these are our 3-inch rounds that you can get extra of these. So once you make the frame once, you can take these center pieces and flip. You can do the front and the back. You can flip it out. So you have one frame. You can use it multiple different ways. Hey, Pam, thank you so much for sprinkling. And same thing on this one. So this one has your base frame. It has the middle part that's going to hold everything. And then it has a couple of topper pieces. So we've got a lip, and then we've got the cutout piece. Now these are, I don't know if you can tell, they're little coffee beans that go all the way around. We did multiple versions of these, and it was hard to pick one. There was another one that I really liked where the beans were like stuck up on end, but it almost looks so much like floral petals that we're saving it for a sunflower. I'm going to have him modify it a little bit. We're going to be using it as a sunflower. So my version for these, what I'm thinking, I'm going to do them both white, and I think I'm going to try and do the, whatchamacallit, the wood slats again, but I'm going to do it in a little bit of a different way. So to get started with that, you can grab whatever. You don't have to wait for me, bud. You can just keep going. He's like waiting for permission to start. I grabbed napkins, but I don't think I'm going to be using them. I think I'm just going to stick with transfers. So I do know I wanted to use this transfer that kind of looks like a little coffee stain type deal. I want to use this transfer. And then the other one that I was looking at, I know it's like a tight fit, but I feel like we can make this one work. It's going to cut off the flowers a little bit, but I want to see what it will look like. The other thing we could do is we could just use the words. You know what? I think I'll just use the words, and I'm going to show you how to do flowers on either side. I think that's what we're going to do. All right. So to do that, I know we're going to need a whole bunch of white. So he's got the plaster over there. I have got this French linen from the folk art that I got at Hobby Lobby. And then I've got my brown. This is a truffle from Waverly. I get that at Walmart. Hey, Miss Lisa. And then I'll probably want a white. So I'm going to grab my super white that this one is still kind of dry. Like it's a little bit dry. So I'm going to use that. So let me get I swear, as soon as I start the video, like I start getting hot. But when I was getting ready for the video, it was freezing in here. I don't know. Can't get my temperature settled. Anywho, so I'm super excited about these. I'm definitely excited about this one. It was a little bit, we kind of struggled with how we were going to do the top here. Because this is see-through and you can see the beverage in there, I'm going to do this back. I'm going to do this part dark. I'm not going to paint the whole thing for the sake of time. So we'll go through and we'll get one coat of white on these so that we can see our transfer in the background. You can put the transfer right on the wood. You don't have to paint the surface, but it does help the transfer really pop. So we're just going to give it a quick coat of the white. And let that dry. Question. Have any of you heard of, I think it's called Curated Tools. It's with a K. Oh, thank you, Pam. Hi, Miss Dorothy. Dorothy's our first time. Welcome, Miss Dorothy. Glad you could pop on and see us. I see she's tuning in from YouTube. Love it. Okay, so I got an email this morning from Curated Tools, and I had never heard of them before. And what immediately caught my attention is they have a couple of sanding tools, and well, they have a whole bunch of tools, but they have versions in pink. And so immediately I was like, hello. And I saw a sanding tool. I also saw a glue gun, but the glue was like different colors. So I don't know if they were using it for like wax sealing. And I was like, I might need that. Anyway, they reached out and it was a partnership invitation. And I was so excited. And, but then also I tell you, you have to be careful, obviously, with emails because you can get scammed really easy, right? So I got all excited, and then I was looking at the reply email, and it's all over the email. Like it's very clearly branded to them, but then the reply email is just some random lady's Gmail, and it's not the name that she signed it. So it was signed by Harriet, but then I'm going to paint this dark part next. But the response email was to a different email, and it was just a Gmail, and so I think it might be scam. So I'm super bummed, but I went to the company's website and I reached out to them and was like, hey, I just got this partner request. I don't know if it's legit or not. Like, I would love to partner with you guys, but I don't know if it's legit or not. So can someone let me know? So if it is legit, I can't wait. I can't wait to share with you guys. But it stinks that you even have to like worry about that stuff, but you do because people be trying to scam you all the time these days. Okay, so for this part, we really only need to paint this top part here because that's all that's going to show through our little area. And see, even that, I was a little aggressive, but it's fine. Our frame's going to cover that. So we don't have to worry about that. Do you want a bigger brush brown?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Okay, so I know I want to do that. These pieces I'm going to be doing in that linen color. So we'll keep moving these up. But I was just curious to hear if anyone has heard of that company. I know I'm going to be using the brown for the lines, and so I'm just wondering what color to do this. There's a lot of yellow on here. I could do yellow, but that's not very... I wonder if I do one black and one brown. I think that's what we'll do. One black, one brown. Hi, Miss Peggy. Karen says wax sealing is a big thing now. I want to get into that, but then also I have so much stuff. I'm like, I just bought clay. But I think the clay is probably going to lead into the wax. So that's probably what's going to happen to me is I'll start playing with that clay. Those of you that are on who have done the clay molds. So I got some Victorian prints. I don't even know what they're prints. They're like molds. Here, I'll show you. I got these on Amazon. And so these are the ones I got that I'm going to be playing with tonight. So not right now. This is totally something separate. But in the Crafting chat, in the membership, in the Crafting Christ Experience group, these are the ones I'm going to be playing with now. So I guess my question, because I'm going to have to Google this before tonight because I don't know. Do you stick them in there and then let them dry? Or do you stick them in there and then pop them out and then let them dry? And if you're going to be putting it on something that's round, I would think you, like, are these bendable or do I need it to dry on something round? Because, for example, I have some terracotta pots and I wanted to add these to my terracotta pot, or I have a metal pot here. I just hadn't put it away, but I have a metal pot. So I was almost thinking I probably have to pop them out, right? And drape them over the pot and let them dry on the pot before I do them. Because if so, I might do them when I get off this live so that they can sit for a while. So tonight I can put them on the pot. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just trying to figure that out. So if any of you on here, Miss Lisa, I feel like you're one that probably works with that medium all the time. What is the process? Walk me through, sister. Okay, so we're going to do one in this brown. Again, this is a truffle. And then the thing we're going to want to keep careful with as we're doing these is everything is cut exactly to fit. So we want to make sure we get any extra paint out of the inside, or otherwise our little frame isn't going to pop in there. And then we're going to let this one dry. And then I think I'm going to do this one in a black. Now I will need the brown again, but a smaller brush. Lid for the brown. Lost it over here. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing, again, I'm going to be playing with those tonight. But I'm excited. I'm excited to hear from Rosalinda and her story. We met, she's one of our, sorry, I thought he was put up. We met through, as an affiliate. Do you want to go grab him? Yeah. All right, he's going to go deal with dogs. I thought Pugsley was locked up. We've been pretty good about putting him away before I go live. Peggy says, I glue them onto the pot when they're wet. Oh, you can put them on the pot when they're wet? Okay, there we go. And then she paints them after it's glued. I use Type Bond and Quick and Thick. All right, I have this. I don't have Type Bond. I might have to go shopping, y'all. There's time, right? Okay, so I can just make it and pop it out. Okay, so I can do everything tonight. I don't have to. I was worried I was going to have to prep some of these pieces. And you know how it is with the time and prepping. Dixie, knock it off. Dixie, stop. Oh my gosh. It's not one, it's the other. I think it's funny because no one goes outside until I get on the live. And then now everyone's going in and out. The joys of lives, you guys. Yeah, so I'm excited to work with the clay. I've been wanting to do it a long time. It's a medium that I haven't been able to use. yet. I've been wanting to and I haven't tried yet. So I have a feeling I'm going to fall in love with it. But I just got these ones to start. I did get this set on Amazon. If it works well, I'll put it in my Amazon favorite things. But I liked because it had the small ones and then it has these long ones that I can wrap around. And so they're like super jelly though. Like, I don't know. Cover your ears.
For what?
Just cover your ears real quick. They remind me of like the fake boob pads. Okay, you can cover your ears.
I'm confused.
Sorry, this is a girl thing, but yeah. Back in the day, I don't know, some of us when we were younger and cared about those sort of things, yeah, I probably had a few of those. Not today. Today, I'm old and don't care. Okay, so we've got our black one here. All right, so we've got one in black, one in brown, and then we can just kind of figure out what's going on. So we're going to, again, take our little rag around the inside. Okay, Peggy thinks my glue will work. Oh, cake decorating molds. That's a great idea, too. I know, I feel like these are something you could probably find, like Goodwill, or I think you could find them used. In fact, I found, when we went to the antique store, again, I haven't used these yet, but when we went to the antique store, I know that had all the booths, I found like this one kit. So this was $10 and it has like all these letter stamps. Because if you guys had followed me for a minute, you know I have the stamps, but they're like super little letters. I don't have like regular size letters. So it looks like these are uppercase and lowercase. I don't know. It's a whole mess here. So that might be a good place to look for stuff like that. So you're not having to buy them brand new. You know, you can cash in on crafters that have moved on to other things, right? Okay, so if we just do this black, I don't know what color I want to do this. We might have to come back to this piece because I've got to see what it looks like. I might do a brown. All right, so now I've got my two top pieces that I'm going to use here. So I'm going to do them both in this linen color. And I'm using paper just so I don't get paint everywhere as I'm flying around here doing this on the fly. This is where I use my transfer tool plastic things. They make great little palettes for your paint. So I'm just going to put some on there. Pam says she saw one the other day to use an egg carton and you put the clay on it and then decoupage it and put the resin glaze. Yes, Beck, I saw that one. I saw that one. For some reason, my feed keeps showing me a bunch of those. And you know I have the resin. And so I have been wanting to kind of play with that again. This is not as light as I thought it was going to be. So I might switch to plaster on the other one. But we'll do one this color, obviously, because I'm already started. I saw that same lady makes utensil holder, like it's a little wave and you put your fork, knife, and spoon. I've seen her make a bunch of stuff. I think because once you watch it, you see, you know, you'll keep seeing more of their stuff. But I have seen that egg carton one. And of course I was like, I can do that. I can do that. Probably, I don't know that I could, but I could sure try. She likes to use a lot of the vintage pattern napkins when she makes that stuff. Super cool. All right, so I'm going to do one, like I might have to do a second coat on this. I'm just kind of looking at it. It is a little see-through. Also, I have been watching another creator that's been using the Dixie Belle paints. And if you've been watching me for a minute, you know my frustration with Dixie Belle. But I might have to get some of their paints because their red, white, or their blue is just such a pretty blue. And I have not seen a blue like that anywhere. It's like a dark, deep blue. And now that I know that I can't really get good paints at Hobby Lobby, I think I'm going to have to splurge and get myself some Dixie Belle. They're blue and they're red. I've been seeing people use for the patriotic crafts that they're doing. And they're such deep colors. I saw green too, and I was just like, all right, I might have to buy them. So I might be having a Dixie Belle splurge here. just on some good colors. I get a lot of the pastels in the other brands, but the deep colors I feel like are harder to find. Christine, I don't know why it's giving you that automated message to check your messages. Yesterday after getting her kit, she couldn't resist and she painted one of the coffee cups and added a rub on. The little coffee cups are so cute. I totally get it. Now this bigger one, this one right here is that exact same cup shape, just in a bigger size. This one's a different cup shape. Okay, I was really hoping I would only need to do one. This is the first time I've used this brand paint, and I will tell you, I don't know, like, why am I having to do 2 coats? That's kind of one of the good things about chalk paint is you generally only have to do 1 coat, but not with folk art home decor. They're wanting you to do 2 coats. Because I am seeing the wood a little bit through here. All right, how you doing? You got your white on there?
Yes.
Okay, so make sure that middle part, you're going to have to get that paint out of there or your little frame's not going to pop in. All right, we're going to go over it real quickly. And we'll get that drying. And then we'll move to this other one we're going to do in a white. That's kind of a bummer. I had high hopes for this folk art. But ain't nobody got time to do multiple layers of paint, right? All right, I'm going to have to rinse this again. I'm not used to having a partner over here on the side. So you'll see I'm just getting the rag wet, and if you hit it right after you paint it, you can generally clean up all of the edges on it so that you can still keep your nice edge here. You can also sand it if you forget to do it. You can hit it with a sander, but that will take off some of the patina from the laser. Okay, we'll put that one aside. And then I'm just going to do a quick rinse on this brush, and I will switch to the plaster. Bring that one closer. Y'all, we got stuff everywhere here. Moving. I think I have another plaster. Oh no, why do I have clear? I don't even know I had clear. I thought I had another plaster. Maybe I don't. It's time to get one because this one's getting a little thick and chunky. All right. So you can tell this paint, this is the Waverly. It's thicker right away. You can tell. And transparency is a little dried out though too. I don't generally like it this thick, but just for ease of working. All right. So we're going to go do a quick layer of the white, and then we're going to get a sponge brush, and I'm going to bring in some antiquing in a little different way than we've done before. All right, don't forget your little lip up there. Now, I tend to watch a lot of other creators to get not only ideas for crafts, but like different techniques. So the technique that I'm going to try is a little bit different than I've done before today. I'm a little bit nervous because y'all know I have a heavy hand, and so it could really funk it up, or it could be okay. I'm worried it's going to be a little chunky, but that is kind of the look. I've seen it used for mostly when they're doing cow patterns, but I think if I do it smaller, it will work on this little project. Okay, again, you can see this paint is a little thick, so it's going on thick. I'm going to switch to getting my water from here because our paint water over there is getting a little funky. So I'll just put some water on my rag and then just come in here and just go around, especially where your frame's going to pop in, because remember we can't have extra paint in there or our little frame piece isn't going to go in there. So make sure you get your handle. And we'll need to get this piece up here that's kind of thin. Bless you. Wet wipes work good for this too. I used to have some in here, and I think we ran out in the bathroom and they got stolen. All right. Almost done cleaning it off here. So just get it all the way around there. We're not worried about the back. And again, if it dries, we can just sand it off. No big deal. But if we can get some of these chunks now, we'll be better off in the long run. So we came back from vacation. I think we got back Thursday. And I don't know why, but it feels like when you get back from vacation, you have like so many things to do. Like we ended up having to clean our whole house. My daughter actually had a situation. We had to help her with that. So it was just kind of craziness as soon as we got back. All right, I did lose a little bit of the paint on the top here because I rubbed it off. So let me just take a smaller brush and just hit this again really quick. Because the rag is wet, sometimes it will drag that paint off. So we're just gonna tighten it up a little bit there. Are you still using that?
The white?
That paintbrush, yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Oh no, I'm good.
Oh.
Okay. Now we're going to try our technique. So we have done palette lines in the past. And I was thinking there is a different way we could do it. This may or may not work. I had not seen anybody do this. It's just I came up with this on my own. So, oh my gosh, I have like a water smear. What is happening? All right, if that happens, just come through and touch it up. Oh, this white is a little chonky. Okay, we're good with here. Okay, so we're going to do two different things. We are going to do some antiquing with the sponge brush, which I'm going to need to get a little bit wet. And we're going to get our brown. Oh, thank you. We're going to get our brown. I'm going to need two of these. Christine says, hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Tammy. Yeah, this is the Folk Art chalk paint. I'm going to tell you right now, not a fan. I had to do two coats with that. I rarely have to do two coats unless it's a dark color. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. Sorry to say. All right, I need one of these that I have not used. These all have glue on them, but we're going to go with it. Okay, I'm just taking some brown and I'm just going to smear it off both sides, and you'll see why here in just a second. We want to make sure we get it all. Okay, what are we doing? Almost stuck that right in my brown paint. Okay, so we're going to take our sponge brush and we're going to get some of this, and we're going to come in and do our sides, but we're going to be a little bit more aggressive with it than we have been in the past. Okay, that's like super aggressive. I might have to redo that part. All right, don't do that. That wasn't it. I'm thinking I should not have got this wet because I'm not liking this at all. But we kind of have to go with it. Okay, that was not what I had in mind, but I don't know that I hate it.
Kind of looks like a zebra.
It does look a little zebra-ish. All right. That was not what I had in mind. I can't decide if it's terrible or not. That's not how she did it. All right. We might be trying this different. Hold on. Maybe it's this way. Okay. We're going to try this way. Round two. Okay, yeah, don't drag, dip. Dragging's bad. I got a little hair on here. Yeah, that was not the look I'm going for. We're going to do something with that. I don't know what. We'll fix it. Okay, we're not dragging, we're dipping, okay? But I still need the line like that, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Okay, this is working out better. That was terrible. So again, just kind of pick different places. And again, probably don't want to go too much on the top here because we are going to have this topper. Let me see what we got colors going with. I'm probably going to need this to match that. You guys see the monster hand reaching in on me here? Okay, so I'm just going to... All right, I'm going to add that. Now, what I'm going to do to get the lines is I'm going to stick the popsicle stick in, because you know how we've struggled to get the palette lines? I thought if I did the paint in a popsicle stick, and we could probably get rid of this because we need our mat here. I thought if we use this to do our palette lines, then we could get them straight. Because if you guys watched before, I've tried to do where I like freehand them, and I'm not the best freehander. Oh yeah, that's better. All right, but we just didn't get it on the end, so I'm gonna just continue the line here. So figure out, get your things straight on your mat here. And then you can just kind of press it down. And then we can get straight-ish palette lines. All right, so we're going to do that again. There might be a better way to I don't know if dragging this through this is the best plan. Right idea. We're just going to have to play with it. I'm just taking the excess off the edge. We're going to go in with another one here. It would have helped if I didn't put my little dotty things right where I was going to put the lines. That wasn't a great choice. We'll do this one next. All right, we're getting there. Now again, you could freehand these. You could use a marker. We've kind of done it a bunch of different ways. I just thought I would try this and see how it works. It's working okay. I'm wondering if I should have used black, but that's okay. All right, I don't want to overdo it. I'm going to leave it like that. We're going to throw that away. Watch your pants. His block in the garbage can. Okay. I'm just going to take my brown that's already on my little... This one I might have to do in a whole nother color. I think I might have ruined that one, you guys. It happens. Now you could do an antique on these as well. I'm not sure how to save that one. I'm not sure how to save it.
Just get it wet again.
Layla says underneath every one of her projects is the first attempt, aka an oopsie. I know your zebra mug will become something beautiful. Girl. See, if anything, just know it happens to all of us, okay? I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of my favorite part about the messing up part, because then you can all see oh, don't do it that way. That didn't turn out so great. I think I'm going to sand it and see what happens. I think we're going to scrape some of it off. And speaking of sanding, that's what we're going to do next with this one, because we need to age it up a little bit. So let's get our sander. I'm going to come through here and we're going to hit the edges. And I'm going to be pretty aggressive on these edges. Meaning I'm putting an angle in when I'm sanding it to really get that paint off the edge. And then I am going to hit it with some antique wax as well. So I'm basically kind of taking the paint back off the handles, well, the whole thing here, really. Now again, this top we're not going to see because we're going to have that little topper on there, so we'll have to antique that separate. You know, and sometimes it's just about, you just keep working with it until you get it to where you want it. And that's why the chalk paint and all of this is so forgiving, because you can just go over it and you just do it again. Like Layla said, you could just paint it white or sand it down as much as you can and then paint it white or repaint it. And it can all work out. All right, let's get some wax. I'm not going to add any wax to my brush. I'm going to use the wax that's already on the brush. And I'm just going to hit these edges. Just slightly. Again, I'm not adding anything else to the brush. And we're just kind of coming in on that spot that we took off. And again, I keep forgetting we don't really need to do the top. I'm going to get the inside here. The inside is going to be a little bit tricky because we don't want a whole, I don't want it to be too much. Okay. Let's see what we look like here. All right, we're coming together. We come together. All right, we've got our little topper here. All right, the vision's coming together. What we can also do might be fun. Where's that white? I'm going to do a little dry brushing. I'm getting scared now because now I'm just going crazy. All right, we're going to scoop out. Just going to put some of the white on here. Get it on the dry brush. Get all of it off, pretty much. Just going to tab it all off. And then we're just going to dry brush across it. Now this is white, so it's not going to be, you're not going to see it a ton. It's just a little bit. And that's going to break up that brown a little bit. There we go. And from here, I think we can start gluing this one together. I don't know where my bottom is. That's your bottom. Where's my bottom?
For what?
This cup.
That's right there,
sitting,
under.
It's sitting right here. Y'all, I'm old, hot, and blind. The whole package. Okay, we're gonna glue this one, and then we're gonna deal with our zebra problem child here. All right, I'm gonna do this because I don't even have. How did I miss the secret of the bigger coffee cups? They're both on the site, sweetie. So I just announced it today on the live. Like these are hot off the press. So since we're cutting them to order, members, you use your discount when you order. But since we're cutting them to order, we didn't do an early release because we're only cutting what you guys order. So there was no special early release. In full transparency, I'm really trying to cut down on the amount of social media posts and emails because I'm still the one that writes them all, and I'm literally drowning in all of the communication. So we're trying to dial it in. So for this one, again, members use your discount, but we're cutting them to order, so we didn't do an early release is the thing. We do have a member Monday that's going to be coming out next Monday that will be early release because it is we only have a limited amount. So look for that next Monday. But today I wasn't even sure we could get these together in time. I was going to do a different project because we were coming back from vacation. I wasn't sure we were going to even be able to get these together in time to release them today. And we were able to pull it off. So that's why it's all wonky today. So you didn't miss anything, sweetie. We're just didn't quite have it together. Okay, so I'm putting the topper on. Notice that I'm using the table to make sure everything is pushed down and centered, okay? Because we don't want anything being askew, right? So let's go ahead and we're going to glue this one on. We can do our transfer, and then I will work on the other, fixing our zebra cup. So for these, we just want to make sure, kind of hit it in random spots with your glue. You do want to use like an E6000 or some type of permanent glue so that it's really on there and it doesn't get pushed up, because the hot glue will tend to kind of push it up. Okay, and then the most important part, we need to make sure that our tile goes in here and comes back out, and it does, so we're good. But after we do that, again, just make sure that you're not overlapping that circle anywhere, or you won't be able to get those. We won't be able to get that in there. All right, let's do one transfer, and then we'll focus on this guy. I don't know what we're going to do with him, but we're going to do something. Not me stalling. Trying to figure it out. All right, so with the transfers, we're just going to cut out the design that we want to use, and we're going to simply rub it on. So let me get my transfer tool here. Make sure we don't have anything on our little round. Now I have a bunch of dust here, which is not usually good. We don't want to have that for transfers. So we'll peel off the protective backing. Are you waiting for something from me?
Wait, can you just turn this over like this?
Well, in theory, I could. He's saying, couldn't you just turn it over? And that is another option. We could just turn it over the other way and fix it that way. So depending on how committed you are, that was a great suggestion from my sidekick over here. If you don't want to fix it, that would be an option. We could paint this whole thing dark and nobody would know, right? So we do have a couple options there. We're going to go ahead and use our mat to center this one. So we're going to place it down, and then we're going to use our tool to rub and release it. And there we go. We're going to be able to drop that right in there. I'm going to let that dry some more before I mess with it. But we have one tile done. I feel like we've already got some layers of paint here. So you know what we do? We I have a couple of ideas, actually. We could use this as base for Crackle. Should we do it? Let's do it. All right. You know what? This is going to be a really easy way to fix this, because it's a longer process, but whenever we do Crackle, we can do all in Crackle. So I don't think I've done this Crackle layering technique before. So I'm going to use all three of these colors, including the brown that's already on there. And then we're going to go over it again with the plaster. Lori, the member discount, yes, it is in the private Facebook group. You can ask in there, and I can't give it out on the live. It's also in your emails. And then Monica says the zebra cup, what you did another swipe or rust terracotta below the brown. Oh yeah, so she's saying layer it. And then Susan said, I think I missed it. What's the difference between version 1 and version 2? And does the set 2 set? Yeah, the 2 set comes with one of each. So the difference is this one is the exact one of this. It's the smaller ones that come in the kit, but we made it bigger. You can't see it. And then this one is more of a round, like a bowl mug. And then it has the see-through up here where you can see like the coffee in there. So that's the two, they're kind of two different styles. So you can get them individually or you can get them as a set. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in all these other colors, which this is my favorite Crackle background. And I just don't do it because it's a lot of work and a lot of colors. But I mean, it's not a lot of work, but I mean, you have to do different layers. And I'm not sure if I'm enjoying you crafting with me because our water is now mud. My water's not usually mud. Okay, so we're going to take these other colors, okay, and we're just going to put them in here just randomly, okay? So we're going to put some of this, and it doesn't even matter like where we put them. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of that. We're going to do the same thing with the yellow. We're going to do the same thing with the red, and then we're going to cover it with some glue. All right, so we've got the teal. I'm going to save this, you all. I'm going to save it. And it's going to work. Okay, the red I have not used in a minute, and it is liquid on the top, so that is not what we want at all. No problem. Susan said I ordered 2 sets. And again, I said at the beginning, if you came on late, I don't have a picture of the second set. This is version 2. I was trying to get it loaded. My husband literally handed it to me 2 minutes before we were going live. So I took a quick picture and tried to get it on the website, and my phone wasn't working. So I couldn't get it loaded on there. So again, no rhyme or reason, just stick it in there. Oh, my husband got me more water. Thank you. So we're just going to stick it randomly, okay? It doesn't matter where. All right. And then we're going to come in with the yellow, and we're going to do the same thing. Now, I know right now you're like, okay, now it's a crazy zebra. You got to trust the process. Trust the process. All right. Now we're going to come in here with the yellow. The yellow I haven't not used in a minute either. You would think I'd use the yellow more. It's spring. I don't know what's going on with me. Okay. Yellow. Put some yellow here. We still want that brown to show in there. That's it. That's all we're doing right here. That's it. Okay. Now we're going to come in. We're going to make sure this is dry first. This is all going to make sense in the end. Watch. This one will turn out being the one that I like better than that one. Oh, I'm having issues today, y'all. I'm having issues. I got to get it together before tonight when we're doing our craft and chat here. All right, so we're going to hit this with the heat because we do need all of this dry before we put the glue on it. I had the teal kind of thing. Okay, so now you're probably like, what a mess. And you would be right. So we're going to take our glue. This has had glue on it. And we're not going to do what I did last time. I better get my paintbrush ready. Okay, so we're going to cover it with a thin layer of glue. And then we're going to have to wait 5 minutes, and then we'll cover it with the white like we do the regular, just like we do the regular Crackle technique. All right, I'm going to try and not dump the glue everywhere like I did on the live for this month when I filled my entire frame with glue. I mean, we do need a decent amount. All right, so we're going to come in here with the glue. We want it kind of thick. Think about, like I always say, kind of like you're toasting your bread with jam and you're not on a diet. Okay, so we're not doing a thin layer. All right, we're getting a decent amount of jam. So we're going to come in here with our glue, and I got to pay attention to that center part. I did get a chunk in there, and I've got to get that out. I'm not going to worry about the top. I think it's going to be kind of aggressive to try and get some crackle in there. And again, I'm going to have to come and wipe this out of the center. And to do that, I'm actually going to get a Q-tip. Okay, we are going to set my alarm for 5 minutes. Karen, yes, we can add them. Camille can add them to your, if your kit has not shipped yet, we can add them to your order. Hold on, let me set my timer before I. All right, I'm going to do 4 minutes because I've been chatting for a couple. Okay, so we're doing the 5-minute rule. You got to email Camille if she's not on this live. I'm not sure if she's tuned it. Sometimes she pops on and sometimes she doesn't. But she'll have to do it. I do know that the kits are running right now. It just matters if she got to yours or not. All right, so just. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, so we're just going to take the Q-tip and get this out of there. If you want, yeah. Oh my gosh, my husband's like my little helper today. He's like, oh, do you want me to switch out your water? Yes, sir. Yes, I do. Thank you for asking. So I just got the Q-tip a little bit wet, and I'm just getting it out. Remember, we don't want anything. We don't want that chunk to dry in the center. That would be bad. Then our frame's not going to fit in there. So if there's any part that we got it hanging out like a blob, let's get that off. Got more over here. Always good to have like little Q-tips, little things that you can clean up with. Okay, so we're letting this get tacky. That's what we're doing. It's just, we need it to get a little bit tacky, and then we're going to come in and we're going to cover it with the white. And then we're going to hit it with the heat gun, and it's going to be the most gorgeous crackle. So in the meantime, I'm going to start getting this stuff out of the way that we're not using. All right, we're done with this. Y'all, it's chaos up in here. It is chaos. Yes, I'm saving my glue because I am a penny pincher like that. Don't judge me. Okay, putting that back in there. All right, putting that to the side. All right, we got 2 minutes. We still have, I honestly feel this one right here might be cute. I know it's a coffee cup on a coffee cup, but let's do it. We're doing it. Y'all, we're breaking all the rules. Don't care. I think it's going to be cute with this one because we have the coffee inside, right? We have coffee on coffee and coffee. I love it. All right, we got 1:36. We're doing good. All right, so we're just going to line this baby up. Just like that. Do you want to sneak peek yours and show him what you're working on?
Sure.
All right, he wants to show his. It's upside down, bro.
Oh.
All right, that's what he's working on over there. He's hand painting. Love it. Which is another idea, y'all. You don't have to use transfers or napkins for your tiles. If you hand paint, which we've had people share on here that they're really good at hand painting. I'm not one of them, but you can. Okay, how cute is that? It's coffee in coffee.
In coffee.
I love it. And you could also, like, if you think that this part looks weird, which the handle does look a little bit weird, we can cover that up. Yes, we can. So you can layer the transfers on the transfers. So just because that little handle is kind of throwing it off the eye a little bit, I am just going to take the cutest little butterfly here. And I'm going to layer him strategically right over. And you'll notice it's hanging off a little bit. That's fine. All right, we got 4 seconds, but we do have a little bit of extra time.
4 seconds to do what?
to put our white on. All right, our timer just went off, but that's fine. I know we have extra seconds, so I'm just gonna quickly take off the extra wings there. And now we've just added that little butterfly, if that little handle was bugging you. Obviously it was bugging me, I just covered it up. Oh, Camille's on, perfect. Pam said, yours is super cute, you're doing a great job. Aww. Okay, so now we're gonna go in and we're gonna put our chunky white on this. Somebody remind me I need to buy more plaster because this ain't it. So it is gonna be a little bit, this is gonna be a lot thick. Can you add water to this? Does this?
To what?
We're gonna see.
Get ready.
I don't know if this is legit crafting advice or not. Sometimes y'all just need to do as I don't do as I do. I need this thinned out a little bit because the thickness that it is currently is not going to drag over. All right, it's like gummy. All right, we're going to go with it. Nothing is working with me today. All right, we're going to take the white and we're going to drag over it. I'm really concerned about this white. I swear I bought a new one and I couldn't tell you where it is. All right, hopefully this doesn't ruin it, but it's like super chunky. All right, so in that case, just the key is to not work the glue too much. This might work in our favor. But it is going to be thick and probably take a while to dry. So there's that. So again, we're just trying to make sure we don't work the glue underneath. We're trying to drag the paint over the top. My current challenge is my paint is super thick. This is coming out no matter what. Get behind me, Satan. We're going to make this work. All right, again, not overworking it. I'm not even going to mess with it anymore. I am going to get my Q-tip though, and I need to get this cleaned up a little bit. All right, we got them popping in about adding to your kit shipments. All right, so just make sure that we're getting anything out from around the edges, like any giant chunks. And I am getting the Q-tip just a little bit wet to help get the chunks out. And I'm going to have to do some sanding on that one. Okay, so now we're going to hit it with the heat gun. There's a big old chunk there. Chunk right there. All right, so we just keep hitting it with the heat gun. And you'll see it start breaking apart. So now instead of zebra, we've got all these colors coming through. And you could also do this with the wax. You know how we've used wax? You could do it with wax as well. But I think one of the nice things about using all these different colors is now you have a whole bunch of different colors that are going to work for your designs in the middle. So I'm just going to take my, this is the precision sanding tool. This is another one good one to get in there and get any of this extra stuff off. If you have on the edges, it's generally easier to use the bigger one. But if you have extra paint that you need to sand off here, because let's admit it, I got a little crazy with this one today. But you can take your larger sander. Now, when we do the Crackle like this, it really does need to sit overnight, or at least sit for a while to make sure that we've got everything on there. See, she came together. It just took a minute. It just took us a little bit. We can go ahead and glue this one together, but we made it work. We rescued it. So see, if it ends up being a zebra mess, just go with it and add more colors, but turn it into something else. All right, so same thing with this one. We're just going to go ahead and take our glue, and I just generally try to get kind of your four corners, a little bit of the handle, little dots. You can do a combination of this too if you want to do some hot glue and your multi-purpose glue. I generally try not to, though. I find that sometimes it raises it where it's not laying flat. Oh, I just stuck my finger. See, my Crackle is still wet. Now this one, because we've got a lot of paint on it, it is wanting it's wanting to lift a little bit. So with this one, I had my clamps, and everything got moved because my son's here. If it's lifting just it's the teeniest amount, but if you want it to dry completely flat on there, you can take your clamps and clamp it down while it's still setting. So for right now, I'm just going to keep putting the pieces together, and then I'll clamp it when I'm ready for when I stop messing with it. Hey, Liz. Okay, so just make sure those of you that are messaging about adding stuff, send her an email, support@ChristianCraftPaper, because it's easier for her to work the emails and make sure that she gets everybody than to do the comments. Plus, we have to have documentation that you said it was okay for us to charge your card. So make sure you send an email, and she will get that taken care of. But I would do it sooner rather than later, because like I said, Nidia is packing your kits right now. I know she already started batching them. So we want to make sure we get it before your order gets processed. All right, so we want to make sure we've got this on here and it is straight. Now I have the teeniest bit of glue coming up. So again, make sure you don't have anything on the inside. Like if your glue starts coming through the inside, we got to get that out, because otherwise our topper is not going to go in there, or our insert isn't going to go in there. So we need to make sure our tile goes in. Make sure our tile comes out. It does. So I think we're good. Sometimes you can feel in here too, and just make sure everything's lined up. And then we're going to want to let that set so that it can completely cure. So we have a couple different versions that we did here. I'm going to try this one actually in this one. We'll put this one over here in this one. And then you can pop these out for different seasons. Now, I know I'm going to need a whole different set of these when it comes to Christmas. But I could see fall ones. You have space to do like a little bow here. I think would be super cute. This one, it has like room right here for a little bow. I might have to do that later. But we totally saved this one. We saved the zebra one. Yay, yay. But again, I'm going to let this completely dry, and then I'll probably clean up the edges. I know I've got to clean right here. I've got some more I'm going to sand off, but my Crackle is still drying, so I don't want to mess with it too much. Also, when you're letting it sit to cure, I would take your tile out and let it sit without the tile in it when you're done messing with it and you want it to cure. But again, you could do the front of the tile. You can do the back of the tile and then have a wholeness. You can flip it out. And then we also have the extra tiles. Now the round mini pop and swap, the rounds, they fit all of the rounds. So if you have the watering can, or if you have the little mason jar one, or you have the little Women of the Word round ones, they all fit in they're all interchangeable. Okay. So keep that in mind. And then also, like Christine said, you could put magnets on the back of these. What I have found, it definitely takes more than one magnet. I think for my larger one, especially when I put the flowers in it, it took 4 magnets. So you're probably going to need 3 magnets, I would think, for this one. So again, it just depends on the weight and how strong the magnets are, but you'd need like 3 or 4. 4 is like super safe if you're going to use it as a magnet. So don't be skimpy on the magnets there, because I learned that one the hard way, depending on the surface. My fridge seems to take, for some reason, my fridge takes more magnets than we have a metal sign in the hallway. And that one, it sticks right too. So I don't know if it depends on what the surface of your fridge is. I've like, maybe because the stainless steel is so thin, I don't know. It takes more magnets on my fridge. I don't know why. Layla says she loves them both. Oh, she was talking about the tiny cups. So I can't remember what you had said. You missed the email on the tiny cups. The tiny cups are on the website already. So you can go, if you go to the homepage, both of these are all the way down at the bottom. I did put the link in the video, but if it's hard to find, just go to the homepage all the way down, christiancraftpaper.com. Scroll down to the bottom. It has the new stuff. The coffee cups are in there. And then let me show you the little coffee cups, what you get. You don't get everything in the bag. This is the kit bag. But you get 3 of the coffee cups and 3 of the little risers. Now, you don't have to use the risers with the coffee cups, but they're designed so that they fit, the riser fits, and then you can put stuff behind here if you want to put like little flowers or little whatever you want behind it, or you don't have to. You could just use the coffee cups as you want. And so these are to give you the size difference. Like these are the minis. So the minis come in the 3-pack with the risers. I think these are super cute to use on anything. We're going to start designing more things like this. I've got a nativity set planned that's like this, that's smaller, so that you can take the nativity set and you can put it on anything else. So we're going to start, again, dropping more of these smaller things that you can add to your designs. And then also for those of you that are in the transfer club or in any of the memberships, you have access to this month's transfers, which is the ones that I am using. So our theme for this month is Flourish in His Grace. So we have a few on here that are designed to fit the coffee cups. So this Flourish in His Grace, the bows will fit the coffee cups. I've used the daisies on a few of them. Again, this My Cup Runneth Over works. Rejoice Daily works. This one we use works. This one in the middle will work as well. Any of the jars, the butterflies. So there's a whole bunch on here that'll work. And then I used these 2 different daisies on ones that I did as well. Again, this one, I forgot I was going to use that one. You can use the words and the flowers will come off just a little bit. But I was thinking too, you could use the words, and then I was going to put these flowers around the sides, but I forgot. So I can do that for another version or on the back of one of these, but I got distracted by the coffee because I thought that was just so cute to have the little cross in there. So fun. So these are available on the site. I know they're on there for this. I think what we've decided, because we can't keep everything on the website. We have to have stuff, and then we cut it and then it goes away. So for this month, for the month of June, since the theme is Flourish in His Grace and we're doing all things coffee, they'll be on there for this month or until we run out, because we do only have so much that we can do. They'll be on there. So grab them while you can. For this week, I know he's cutting to order. So anyone that orders by Sunday, you'll definitely will have one for sure. So snag them. Again, you can get them as a 2-pack, or you can get them individually. If you're a member, don't forget to use your discount. As other people has mentioned, what the heck was I going to say? As other people mentioned, don't forget to use your Crafty Cash, because people were asking if they could use your Crafty Cash. Know that, you're putting the tiny cup. She says she's putting the magnets on the tiny cups. That's a great idea. These are small. Yeah, these would be perfect as little magnets. Yes. Christine, nobody heard about the big cups until I just went live. So you're not the only one, sister. Yeah, not the only one. I'm trying to keep everything simplified. And so I'm just launched it on the email. And again, we'll post the replay and we'll post the links and all that stuff, so you guys will have them. I still have to take pictures of this one because have pictures of it. My husband handed it to me right when we were supposed to be going live. So that's how close we are. Do you want to share where you're at with this one before I cut off?
Well, I've just finished.
Oh, he just finished it. All right. Are you all ready to see the big reveal? Now, he has hand painting talent and stuff. I don't, but love it. Okay, so here's what Mr. Parker came up with over here. So he's hand painted his flowers along the bottom here. And then he hand painted the tile with the cross on it. So again, that's the pop and swap tile. His is still.
That's a window.
Oh, it's a window. He hand painted a window. Sorry. I totally see it now. So I'm going to pop this out because his glue is still drying, so I don't want that to get stuck in there. And then he used, this is one of the Bible Bits verses that he picked, and he just bent it over the top and the bottom with the little heart on it. Okay, well, now I want a Bible Bits. All right, I'm not done. Hold, please. Where are the Bible Bits? Where's the other sheet?
I just stuffed it in there on the top one or that one. I don't know.
All right, he stuffed it in here. We don't know where it's at. All right, well, I might have to still work on mine. All right, I got to find my Bible Bits. But this is the second page of the Bible Bits. He used the first one. Oh, here's the other ones that could work. These would be good too as well.
That's what I did. I just cut off the top one.
He's just using the words. So that would be a great thing to do to add to this little piece here too. So I'm going to go find my Bible Bits and I'm going to do that. And I'll take pictures and everything and get them up so that you all can see. But again, it's last minute. Nobody heard first. Use your discount code. Layla says, his says love, joy, and peace. Christine. He used the love, joy, and peace Bible Bits. Oh, actually, was it even Bible Bits or was it this one?
It was that one.
Oh, he used one of these. It wasn't even Bible Bits. This is from the free one, you guys, that's coming in your kits. Or that's coming if you spend $50, you get a free set of transfers. It's the Fruitful Servant transfer. I'm grabbing it and destroying it. That's what he used. He used the first sign from here. So he just cut out this part and put it on there. I thought that was Bible Bits. Perfect. So there's all three of these that would fit if you wanted to add them to it. I'm going to keep this one neutral, but that's what he did. That is what we did. Layla says it looks cool with the window. She loves the blue sky in the background. Love it. Great job. Good job, buddy. Good job. See, everyone can do it. Everyone can do it. And everyone has a different vision of how they can do it. You can mix hand painting and transfers. We could have decoupaged in here. I didn't want to deal with the decoupage. He's the spot that I would have used to put all my stuff is right. He's crafting there. So I just decided to keep it simple with the transfers today. But you guys all know there's a million different ways that you can craft them and customize them. And I'm glad we had the little zebra accident happen today because this is how you can fix it. And it turned out even better than what I was going for. So what do we call that? A happy accident, right? So I'm going to wrap this up. Members and event ticket holders, I'm going to see you at 5 o'clock Pacific time in the membership group. I will be sending out a text notification for that live as well, so you guys can join me in there. I didn't, did I send one out for this? I think I did. I can't remember. Y'all, I'm lost. You'll get one for that for sure. I think I might have decided not to send one for this one so that you didn't get 2 texts from me today because I didn't want to annoy people. But one's going out for the 5 o'clock one for sure because I don't want you to miss Rosalinda and me hanging out. I'm going to be playing with the clay and my, what do they call these, molds? And then I have a metal pot that I'm going to be playing with. So I'm going to be playing with that. We're going to be hanging out with Rosalinda. Grab the stuff that you need, that you're backed up on, that project that you need to work on. If you need to knit, if you need to just want to hang out, you can do that as well. That's what it's for. But we're going to have another session at 5 o'clock in the experience. You can still grab tickets all the way up till tonight and get access. But I think that's it for today. So I'll see you at 5 o'clock or I will see you next Tuesday for another Tuesday tutorial. Until then, happy crafting.